Yeah, so here I'm sitting again. I'm not sure if this is gonna be even possible to hear, but it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Today is Saturday, it's not Saturday, what am I saying? It's Thursday. Probably you can tell by just looking at me how exhausted I am, looking how stressed out. But I should not be so freaking ridiculous to say that I'm stressed by not even working. Because this week I'm going through a lot of things. And again, it's a lot of noise in here. What can I do about it? I can do nothing about it. It just is what it is. I'm going through a lot of things. This job searching, trying to make, trying to start your life essentially, like in a lot of ways, it's not easy these days. There's a lot of job scams out there. You do, and I will get into this in depth, but I feel as if all these job applications you do, you hear back just a fraction of, just a small percentage of your actual job applications you hear nothing from. That's the norm, you hear nothing from them, you know? And it's a joke. I remember my father used to tell me when he graduated, or he didn't graduate actually, he jumped out of high school, I think. Or maybe he finished high school actually, like up to ninth grade or something. And he just said there was so much job, there was so much work. You could walk down the street and people stopped you on the street, wanted you to start working for them. Now it's different tests. There's IQ test, there's writing test, there's even type speed test. There is this kind of test where you have to test your language capability. Even if you're native, you still have to. Hello, Café Quentin. Hello, Marco Alves Diaz. You had to do so many kind of tests today to just have a simple job. That's what I'm talking about here, guys. You guys who just came in here, I'm talking about how my father used to say that I could walk down the street when he was young, and they would literally stop him on the street, wanted him to work. This is back in like maybe 70s, 80s. I should know because I have a girlfriend who is Brazilian, but I can't think of anything on the top of my head. We are living in times where I just feel the modern life, all these corporations. No, you can tell me one if you want. I am happy to hear. Yes, we are living in a time where it's just you have to put so much effort in just finding a decent job just to provide for yourself. You know, don't get me started on trying to find to buy a home, to buy a house, to start a family. I see so many videos about this, and it's not possible. So now, anyway, I'm here now again. You know, I'm here. The snake will smoke. Yeah, I'm here. I'm having a beer. I just went to play football. The match was not really successful. It didn't go very well at all, actually. But that's besides the point. Now, I just decided to talk about how the corporations, you know, if you are born into a where you have a foundation. Imagine you are born in, yes, soccer, exactly. If you're born into a system or you're born into a family with a foundation where there are generations who have built up, let's say, built up a whole enterprise and you are just pushed into that. You know, you have a cushion. You have something that can bounce back. You can fail, you can screw up, but you always have that safety net, financial safety net, the social network that you can just fall back to. If you don't have that, forget about, like I said, forget about the modern world unless you are Brazilian football. Exactly. Forget about having something that will provide and you will have actually a lot of wealth. Of course, if you are an astronaut or a nuclear scientist, let's have it surgeon, or what are they called? Those kind of nurse or doctors that make you fall asleep before a surgery. I have it on my tongue. I forgot it. They earn crazy good money. But just this normal everyday job, it's almost like there is a roof. I actually did write about. I didn't write. I did a video earlier today about this, but I never ended up releasing it. For some reason, I prefer doing live recently. It's just going straight out there, and I don't care. This is my channel where I just reflect. I just feel if there's almost like in modern society, there is a limit, there is an invisible ceiling that you cannot break through, and everything goes to tax, and screw taxes, you know. I wonder if, because building something from scratch is really, really hard. It takes so much dedication, resources, money. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. You don't need to have a very original idea. It can be something simple, but it's not easy to build it. It takes a lot of time. But some things you can get started with fast. I mean, it depends totally what it is. But you want to do something that it's substantial and sustainable in the sense that it's going to last. And you know, like, that is kind of what I dream. I know it would be amazing to have like a business you're working on, and you know that if I do these efforts. Hej Tobias. Ja, det är bra. Tack så mycket. Hur är det själv? Yeah, that's like, you know, you would like to have that kind of freedom, that, or of course it's a lot of dedication, a lot of work, but you know that if I invest whatever, let's say 100 hours on this specific part of the business, I know the outcome will be, I know I will see profit from the outcome. And that is something, but that thing, you know, because everything is about network, everything is about contacts. You can have the greatest idea, but if you don't have anybody to supply it with, you know, what do you do then? You can't, then you're done. Anyway, it's nice to know that you come to the point with yourself that you know what you are, you know what you're made of, you know who you are, and you know what you want to do. Now I'm speaking about me personally, like in the sense that I feel comfortable with being a writer. I feel comfortable with being a poet. I feel comfortable with expressing myself in many ways, actually, but specifically through writing. And I arguably am not a particularly good one, or there are many, many better writers than me, 100%. But I am exploring. You know, you have to explore something. If you are interested in something, you should go all in and explore that. You hear what I'm saying? You cannot just let that slide away, you know. It's not worth it. This is what I feel more and more with life. Yes, a lot of things has to do with money. We you know, everybody wants more of it. I just would like to be in a situation where I know I'm sustainable or I'm fine and I'm a little wealthy. I'm not gonna lie. That would be that's. And there's been times in my life when I consider myself really wealthy, actually. But it's very relative. Some people would laugh about me when I would say that. But I'm talking about that you can have the freedom of doing things that makes you happy. Because I can tell you one thing. People are going to... No, let me say this. Let me put it this way. I see more and more people say that the money is obviously there's an energy. It's a tool. It's an energy. But if you can be happy with what you're doing, you should strive for being happy. And I used to say, I used to be so negative towards myself. I will tell you why. I used to say that I don't care about my happiness. Happiness in today's society it's a luxury. You know, who is really happy out there? Like really. I know that I am happy at times, not always. But I used to say that screw being happy, you know, it's about being useful and supply or contribute and be of use. Don't be some I don't know, criminal not being useful. They are useful in their ways, but it doesn't last. You know, you're gonna fall. You're gonna fall in the end. In the end, you're gonna fall if you're a criminal. And now I start to think more about, we have this life. Why should you not do the things that makes you happy? Should you walk around doing something that you hate, and then just the day on the retirement you just fall flat dead? I think there should be a balance. It should definitely be a balance of your life. You have to find a balance where you are you have your needs met, or you have your you basically have your yeah, of course you gotta have everything met when it comes to sustain yourself. I mean, obviously, but I'm talking about everything after that is just a bonus. But then you should strive for doing things that actually makes you feel worthwhile. You know, my time here makes it worth it. That's how I see it. I'm also to the point where I start to give any fucks, or how should I say? I care less. Because people have always had opinions. People will always have opinions of me. Just for making this video, people will have an opinion of me. Why should I care about that? I do whatever I want. I'm not disrespectful. I'm not mean to anybody. You know, you should do whatever you want as long as you don't hurt anybody or yourself. That's a pretty simple motto to go by in my book, you know. Is it Champions League tonight as well? I think it is. Yeah, so back to what I was talking about, job applications and interviews and stuff. I've had some kind of interview, I believe, every day this week. And I have tomorrow as well. Tomorrow I have an interview with a huge corporation. One of those corporations that don't care about you. They will see you as a number, and they will pay you as little as they possibly can. It's true. Like, why would you? I got an offer. I told this in the other video that I made today, but I didn't end up releasing it. I made it before I went to play football. It's so ridiculous, these companies. I got this offer to go to Bulgaria, and I would have to relocate, obviously. And the job was physically in Bulgaria, in Sofia, or Sofia. And for that kind of entry job for a large corporation, where you will just be a number, and they can basically just get rid of you if they want after 6 or within 6 months if they don't like you. I think that I would do the job just fine. I mean, I was gonna say something bad, but probably my channel would be shadow banned if I said that. No, but I mean that probably anyone can do that job pretty much. And now I just found out also yesterday that they're actually training Bulgarians to speak my language so they can do that job. That was not very smart move of that person I was speaking with to say that they are actually having programs for people, Bulgarians, to learn my language, Swedish, to do this job. Like, do he want me to go there? And then, like, any moment I will be replaced by someone who have much less intercultural skills, language skills, the nuances, Swedish is a very rare language, and it's very cultural. It has very much cultural nuances and contexts depending on how you use words and meanings, depending where you are from in the country, even depending where you are in the country. So they are training people to get less paid and then do a worse job, and then just get rid of me potentially if I move there. No way. Why would I go there? I don't know. It wouldn't happen. And I can tell you this: if it was more money involved, then it would be interesting. But speaking about tomorrow, the interview that I have then for this huge corporation in Portugal here is a remote. I'm not sure if it's a remote position. I believe it's not, but it's a remote interview. And it's going to be 5 people in the interview, and I just don't get it. Maybe it's a good idea. Maybe I don't think I have experienced that before. I think I never experienced 5 people in a meeting. I've experienced 2 for sure. I have experienced 3. I don't think I have experienced 4 or 5. So we will see how that goes. I take this job now very, very lightly, to put it, to be quite fair, because, and I'll tell you why. The job position that I found out in a meeting today, like the first interview basically, like, why would they say, why would they leave out some information in the beginning, and now in the interview I had today, then they release some new information that makes the job itself, it makes it a complete different, it adds a complete different layer to it and a complete different dynamic to it, like makes me actually not consider this job anymore. And I talked with my recruiter also, and this person, she was not aware of this as well. So this was a surprise for her as well. So there's a lot of question marks, and I don't think that I'm gonna take this. That's my gut feeling now. It could change. I am obviously in need for a job like everybody. It would be nice to have. But otherwise there will come something else, and I will look for something else. It's a little bit hilarious how this society is right now with large corporations like this. It's cool with a beer. Yeah, so I think that's it for now. I'm gonna sit here and enjoy a little bit after my match, and new Envadors coming up soon. See you around.